So I've never seen packaging like this before. Like, this is insane. Look at that. Like, nothing is getting through there. Hi everyone, I am Brittany the Cosmic Lunar Soul. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back to all of my subscribers. Today I am doing the unboxing and flip through of the Pooh Tarot. This is actually like the deluxe box, and let me just go ahead and get it open. Okay, we have this all open. So this is, again, the Wisdom of the Pooh Tarot. This is by Ruin Vervain. This was sent to me for review, so I just wanted to be honest about that. But I have been on the lookout for this since I got the Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle. It's been my favorite since forever, so I've been excited for all of Seraphina's other projects, which this one is. So she sent me the box set. This is like a package of goodies like stickers and a coin and stuff. So we'll kind of talk about all that, and then a plush. I'll put a link to the shop so you can see everything. But I will say the box set retails for $170. The deck by itself retails for $82. And then there actually is a deck in a tin, which is really cool. That retails for $52. So, and then there are different like sets and add-ons that include this stuff, that include the plush. So you can go ahead and check that out in her shop. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's look at the plush and work our way through and then get to the box set. I'll make sure to have timestamps. So if you want to hop around and see things in a different order, that is totally okay. All right. Be right back. Alrighty, here is the plush. This I believe this is limited edition. So cute. So he's not terribly big, like you can see in comparison to my hand, and I have small hands. So it's like the perfect size little plush, and it has his little hobo bag. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, I actually very well made too. So let's see what the tag says. Okay, so it was made by Stuffed Animal Pros. I don't know my stuffed animal like companies or anything like that, but he feels very well made and he's nice and solid. Like if I hold his little feet, he stands up. So it's super cute, and I just kind of wanted to start off with a plush. Let's go ahead and look at the other little packet. Okay, so here we have everything. This is actually a notebook, and it came very well protected. Seraphina does a great job packaging her products. So there is this little coin. If you have seen my channel, you know I just love myself some coins. I have some divination coins that I very rarely show on the channel, but I do very much so enjoy. So one side, let's see if I can get it to focus. One side says, "Oh brother," and then the other side, let's get it upright so you can see it, is Pooh trying to pour honey into his mouth. It's so cool, and it's nice and heavy. Let me see what it says around the "Oh brother" size. It says it's not much of a tail, but I'm sort of attached to it. Oh, that's so cute. And then this one says, "A day without a friend is like a pot without a single drop of honey." Aw, that's really, really cool. I think so. Some coins I have are just like display coins, and then others I use as part of my divination. So I think this is just going to be like a display coin that I just kind of sit right off to the side where you guys don't see it, but I get to. And then here we have some artwork. I actually have gotten some artwork from her before with the Pooh stuff. It's actually hanging up in my hallway right now. Okay, I was going to say, it feels like a multi-pack. Um, and this is actually slightly different artwork than I got before. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So we have here, and you can see this is basically what the plush was. Pooh with a little moth or something carrying his hobo bag. And then we have another card here, which looks like the whole gang. Sans Tigger, and if to explain that, Tigger is not part of the public domain yet, so that is why Tigger is separate. He will have his own separate deck once he becomes part of the public domain. But I just love these, so these will go in my collection. These are actually the artwork I had before. I think were about 5x7s. So these are a little more unique shaped. I think these might be 3x4s. So I think I might replace these, put these in the hallway, and the other ones I'll put in frames. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'm actually moving soon, so they're actually going to go back into storage for the time being. So speak of the devil, this is exactly what I was talking about. If you guys would like to be part of the Kickstarter that is going to be coming up for the Tigger version of this deck, you can use the QR code, or I will put a link to the Kickstarter in the description below. But this is the thank you card. She includes a lot of this stuff. So if you guys get these decks or if you kickstart something, make sure you share on social media. And you can either, type it in here, or I'll have all of the information in the description. Okay, we have 2 sets of stickers. Let me zoom out. So this one is actually the Major Arcana of the Pooh Tarot. So we have the Fool through the world. And it's interesting because 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. It had Judgment. Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. So there's Judgment in the world. And then these look like extras. But it's funny because only 4 of them are named. But these 2 are named. And then these 2, but that one isn't. I just always like pointing out quirky things like that. But these stickers are super cute. I don't know what I'd use them for. I have like commitment issues with stickers, so I feel like I would just keep the sheet. But then we have the moon phases and the sweets. So we have the moon phases up here, and then we have I said sweets. Oh my God, the suits. I'm looking at the honey and I'm like, oh, sweets. And then I'll explain once we get to the flip through, but I'm looking at the pentacles and I'm also thinking sweets. So we have the suits as well. But again, I of course would want to use them, but am I the only one with sticker like FOMO where I'm like, if I use it, then I'm going to want to use it somewhere else. I have commitment issues with stickers, guys. So here's a notebook. I got her notebook for the Earth, Moon, and Shadow, and they're so lovely. They have this like really rose petal finish on both the front and the back. And then, of course, you can see the artwork. And then this one even has some foiling. You can see that in the name there. And this, so it has this journal belongs to page. Ooh, and I love that this one's dot gridded. Now, I do love myself some dot grid pages. I don't know what I want to use it for. I probably could use it as an actual journal. Maybe for next year. I have one for 2024, which sounds weird because I bought a planner to use as a journal. But maybe this is something I can use for next year. I feel like maybe with my Earth, Moon, and Shadow, I'll use it as like a notebook to write my spells in before they go into my Book of Shadows. That's a good idea. I should do that. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the box set. Here is the box set. And just a caveat, if you've seen other flip throughs on my channel, you know that I really enjoy box sets. I have the This Might Hurt Tarot box set. I have the Citadel Oracle box set. I have the Green Glyphs box set. So a lot of times, anytime I can get my hands on a box set, I'd prefer that because of hashtag FOMO. And usually they tend to be the limited editions, or just they have a bunch of things that I want that when bought separately, it doesn't make sense not to get the box set. So if you noticed, this came like technically triple packaged. It came in the giant bubble set, then another layer of bubble wrap rather. And then it has cellophane over it. So again, very well packaged. This is something that I very much expect from Serafina. So you might not realize this if you guys have not been following along or have your own set ordered, but Rue and Vervain had issues with their distributor. And basically, long story short, the distributor didn't send out the decks that like they were supposed to. So everything got pushed very much back because of that. And despite all of the mishaps, they've really created such a really fun experience in terms of unboxings regardless. So I love that. So let's get into this. I mentioned the price earlier. Again, links in the description. But this is created by Serafina and Angel Mesa. So these are the creators, and then illustrated by Kat L. Amsel. And of course, this is Wisdom of the Pooh Tarot Christopher Robin box set. This thing is huge. Like you can see the size here, and then she's thick. She is thick. So here's the side, and then the other side looks like it. I expected it to look like a book at first, kind of like my Citadel Oracle, but it actually looks like a wooden and grain box on the side. So it has some quotes from Winnie the Pooh on the top, and then quote from Christopher Robin on the bottom. And then when you open it, I'm definitely not going to have enough space for all of this, but you open it and it opens just like my Citadel Oracle. So here's one flap, and looks like the world card here. I'm going to scoot this over as much as I can. And then open it again, and we have a whole map. So this was drawn by Kat and Mr. Shepherd Held. I'm so sorry for struggling with that name. But yeah, we have some like a map of Pooh's area, and then we have a little bit of like artwork from the tarot, and then on the side here it's the same like leaf and tree and foliage type of artwork that we saw on the other side of the box. So it's quite lovely. I'm going to scoot this back over. Now I mentioned there are things in here that you can buy separately in the shop. One of them is the tarot cloth. We have a tarot bag, and then we have the box and the tin that I mentioned. So let me go ahead, move this out of the way, and we'll look at these two things here. It almost looks like the bag and the cloth are made out of the same material. It feels like it's going to be feels very velvety, like has that like nice silky smooth, not silky, that's the wrong word, like velvety smooth feel. Feels really nice. So the tarot cloth, let's see how big it is. Oh, this is a perfect size. This is, I would say, bandana size. So a traditional bandana, which is the size that I tend to prefer for thicker, which this is a thicker tarot cloth. So this is actually quite lovely. Ooh, I can't stop rubbing it. On the corners, so you can't really see that bottom corner here. Let me fold it up some so you can see. The corners have, they are mirrors of each other. So these are upside down. This is right side up. And then the artwork in the center is actually the artwork that we saw on the back of the book. And it just has this nice rich, like, I guess navy blue kind of color with the stars and the moon. And then I'm going to actually fold this back up and move it to the side because otherwise the bag will blend into it. The bag looks like it's going to be that same material, which is nice. Serafina's last bag for the Earth, Moon, and Shadow was like almost like not burlap. What's that? Canvas, which I also like because canvas tends to be very sturdy when you're traveling around. Whereas this one would be really good. The inside is kind of like just the inside of regular fabric. But canvas is easier to clean. I'd be worried about getting this dirty, so this might be a inside the house tarot bag versus the canvas one that she had last time. That would be like more of a travel bag. But again, same artwork on the front and the back, and it's just really quite lovely. It feels really nice, guys. All right, let's go back into the box set. So I'm going to open it this way this time. We have the deck here. Fits in there very, very well. And then we have the tin. And then the inside is just, you know, the classic plastic inserts. Any of my gamers friends or anybody else who obsesses over box sets, cliche insert here that technically can come out. So if you wanted to use this as like a trinkets box or something like that, you could absolutely do, surprise artwork. Oh, so you could absolutely take this out and this could be a trinket box. And the thing is, you can still store the decks in there along with the other stuff that you've gotten, and it won't rattle around too terribly much. I didn't put this in the right order, but you get what I mean, right? So everything fits in there quite lovely, even without the insert. I mean, it fit in there very well with the insert as well, because that's the point of it. But if you want to put other things than what comes in this box set, then you have that freedom to do so. It's not like this is glued in or anything. These both came wrapped in cellophane. I'm going to get these open. And I feel like I'm going to do a dual flip through for you guys just so you can see them together. So I got all of the cellophane off. You can see the size of the box and the tin. And the tin is actually you can see the size this way. And the tin is very nicely made. You can see all of the information on the back. There's stuff on the sides, and it is a really lovely tin box here. And then the actual box, or the box of the standard edition, is nice. You can see, can you see that foiling? Hold on, let me catch the light. There we go. You can see it down here. And there we go. We can see it. So this has a nice rose petal finish. It has that foiling, you can see. And it's on the sides. There we go. Catch that. The back has all of the information. And then we have more on this side. This is a quote from Piglet. We have some artwork on the bottom and same artwork on the top. So this is the 2023 first edition, and it is a swing tab box. It's actually, so it's similar to the box set, and you can see like a little bit of a map. It says my house and Owl's house. It's really, really, really cute. I will say though that generally swing tab boxes will open all the way. This doesn't want to open any more than 90 degrees. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just surprising. That's all. And then we have certificate of authenticity. This is deck number 4,813 out of 6,000. And then this is a blessing from Serafina. Oh, a blessing and a prayer. So if you are more so into the blessings, then you have the blessing side. If you're more so into prayers, you have the prayer side. And then on the back of that is just blank. So let me go ahead, pull the deck out. I'm going to sit this off to the side and we'll finish talking about the box. So inside we have, let me get this ribbon out of the way. Inside we have more artwork. Let's see if I'm going to do it upside down just so I can get more of the light. But on the sides we have more artwork as well. And these are very like well-made boxes. Nowadays the swing tab boxes tend to be really, really well made. I haven't had a I haven't had a poorly made one yet. Now the tin, let's see. The tin has its own set of, let's get it out, of authenticity. This is deck 928 out of 4,000. Also a blessing and a prayer. And in fact, let me put the other one back in here. I'm going to put it underneath so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to pull this deck out as well and put it off to the side. The inside is just a standard gold finish, nothing too fancy. But I will say, no worries about this lid coming off. It's solid. In fact, I had to kind of get my nails underneath to get the first pry off. So, very well made tin. I'm going to go ahead, put these back in, and let's prep for the flip through. So that was the flip through. You might have noticed I stopped at these extra cards in the back. This is actually similar to my Meraki tarot. If you noticed, I always like to point this out at the end. There was no guidebook. So instead she opted for I like to call these like cheat sheet cards, where we have the major arcana here. So this front and back is major arcana, and then she does have her 4 extra cards, which we'll look at a little more closely. We have the minor arcana for the honeypots, which is the cups. We have the chocolate pentacles, which, if you remember in the beginning of the video, I read suits as sweet because, my brain. And then minor arcana swords, and then wands. So technically the only fully renamed suit is the honeypots, which is the cups or chalices. Um, Technically pentacles is renamed, but it's chocolate pentacles, so it's still, I don't really think that counts in my opinion. The cards for the tin for the mini are the same exact cards, so I won't go back through that. But I'm gonna put these away, and we can talk about the cards, the artwork, and shuffleability and everything like that. So you might have noticed the artwork with the mini and the standard edition are the same. I'm going to zoom in just a little. The artwork on the back is the same, and then of course the actual artwork on the cards is the same. So I'm going to go ahead, put the mini away, and we'll just, actually no, I'll put it off to the side because we'll kind of revisit it when we get to the shuffling. So the cards, actually, the cardstock is, I always like to say, everybody kind of has like opinions on cardstock, right? Some people like them thicker, some people like them thinner. I think this is on the thinner side of like what I would call average. Yeah, I think I would call this the thinner side of average, which I personally like because I'm a riffle and bridge shuffler, so it makes doing that a lot easier. Um, it makes the deck overall a little more flexible, and it has more give, and it's less stress on the hands. So I personally enjoy that. I think it's an acceptable thickness for a deck of this price. You guys, everybody else, that if you get this, you'll have to let me know your opinion. So one of the things, though, that I was worried about is the cardstock is very matte. So there's no coating. And I'm sure my artists here know it's very difficult to get vibrant colors the more matte you go. So that's why a lot of decks tend to have some sort of luster to them. But the colors are so, they are just, they pop so much. Like, look at the reds versus the greens versus the yellows in this card, and look at the deep blue with the yellows, and even that pop of red there. They're so much more vibrant than I really expected. I kind of already had in my head like I was gonna be a little disappointed by the like color vibrancy, but no, totally just blew me away there with the colors. I mean, look at that yellow. So and I've seen other people's flip throughs. It's just, you never know, and photos and stuff, but you never know what kind of post processing people do, what kind of uh you know camera settings they have, stuff like that. But seeing it in person, and perhaps even my camera doesn't do it as much justice, just very, very pleasantly surprised, very much so. Um, so let's talk about, we talked about the artwork. You can see that the sides are high foiling. Not quite a mirror finished. I've had some decks that are mirror finished, but it does have that high. You can see that like in the lights there, that high foiling. Um, I tend to prefer more of a matte foiling because I'm a little rough with my cards. Like, going to be pristine. As soon as I'm done the shuffle test, guys, you will see nicks in these. I'm just rough with my cards. I don't know how other people keep their high foil decks like pristine, because I just can't. It's a curse. Um so I would have preferred if they were matte, but I will say they're the same with the smaller ones as well. I think I tend to be less rough with these because of the size, and I'm limited in shuffling with these. So this is technically my first linen deck. There's no way for me to truly show you that pattern. I don't really have that like camera capability, but I love the feel of this. So, like I said, I've never had a fully matte deck that was of any good quality. I'll put it that way. I've never had a good quality matte deck, and it feels almost like thicker paper, like cardstock, like just traditional cardstock, if you ever worked with cardstock. So it doesn't feel as luster as it looks, which is just, it's kind of jarring, but I actually really like that. Um, and especially because the artwork ended up being so poppy anyway, that I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. And I worried about super matte decks because they can be very sticky as well. But as you saw during the flip through, the cards just wanted to slide right across. There were no chunks to them. So I mean, I think, A plus in that regard. So let's get into before I shuffle this, I do want to talk about the 4 extra cards. Yeah. Is it 4? Yep. Okay. So we have 4 extra cards. This is an extra full card, and it's the El Folio. Let me actually pull. Hold on. Okay, so I had to pull this out just so I can read to you what the meanings of the cards are, but I'm gonna sit it down here so you guys won't actually be able to see that. So this is El Folio. This is actually just a Spanish version of the full card. And you can see that there are some minor changes. There's a hat. This is a cane. And then he has what looks like a fanny pack instead of his hobo bag. Very interesting. And I'll have to look it up. I don't speak Spanish, so I'll have to look it up. But this is actually listed as 00 on the little guidebook cards. And it says Pendejo Juanes Vato Loco. So I know something crazy. um, but we also have, actually, am I going out of order? Oh, no. Yes, I am. Okay, so let me do it this way. So next we have togetherness. Oh, goodness, guys. I do not know my Roman numerals. There we go. So next we have bravery. This is fearlessness, valor, and spunk. And I love that. Like, you can see Pooh is a little nervous, has a honey pot on his head as like a helmet, and then Piglet has a wand as like a spear against this little moth here. And then here we have pure joy. This is joy, good vibes, and camaraderie. Still out of order, but you get the gist. And then we have togetherness. This is companionship, bond, ride or die. Oh, and I love that they're like on the little bridge trying to save Eeyore. Yes, his head is above water. I was like, oh God, is this actually a darker card than I expected? So I do like the extra cards. I love extra cards in tarot because especially in decks where like the whole theme of the deck is basically like a traditional Rider Waite, taking the elements of Rider Waite and just inserting a specific theme on top. I like when they bring in extra cards because then you see a little bit even more of the personality of the deck and the personality behind what went into the deck. All right, so we talked about the cards, we talked about the artwork. It is time for shuffling. So I'm going to do regular overhand. I mentioned before that the cards were, whoops, you can see the cards were not sticky at all. So you can just see that they are, there's no real big chunks. And let's see, I did a good job. No chipping yet. This I think would actually be a good candidate. Let's see, even though my spot, ooh, but you know, I was gonna say my surface is too slick, but look what we have to test it with. So I'm gonna just kind of go from that way just because of the view of the angle of my camera and all of that. Actually, there, that helps. Whoop. Okay, so let's see how it fans. The fan is a little chunky, but not horrible. In fact, considering these are matte cards, and after a few shuffles, I think it would have a really nice fan. So let's do the bridge and, oh, nice. Woo, nice. Okay, let's do another one. It was very sexy. Has a nice bend here. Nice bridge there. Awesome. Nice. So I did 2. No real bend here. Zoom back in. You can see it fans a little. All decks are going to do that if you're a riffle bridge shuffler. You either have to get over it or don't do that kind of shuffling. I just get over it. Seems like I did pretty good. No real chipping. All right, A+ for me. Let's look at the tin. So the tin shuffles real well. Same, I mean, it's the same cardstock, right? I don't think, so when cards are the same thickness but smaller, they feel stiffer. So I don't think that I'll be able to get a good, I know I won't be able to get a good bridge, but let's see if I can riffle it. Barely. And I probably would not do that frequently. Maybe just at the start of a reading, just because it was kind of wanting to get a bridge, but I know that trying to do that with a smaller deck risks tearing it up more. You can see again, still has that fan, but it is what it is. I don't care about that. I just like to let you guys know so that way if you are exploring the world of different shuffling, you go into it understanding the risks of certain shuffles. So let's pull this cloth back out. I know this is getting to be a long video, so we're going to wrap it up shortly, but we got a few shuffles in, right? Let's see how this fans now. Not bad. I'm just not a good fanner. Let's try one more time. Not too bad. I don't have space to keep going, but it starts off a little chunky, but the middle is less chunky than it was before. So I can't complain about that. All right, here is our little family of cards. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the Wisdom of Pooh Tarot. If you would like to see like something special with this, let me know. I know I didn't do any pairings, so if you want to see some pairings, I can post them in the community tab. Post some ideas. If you watch some of my other flip throughs, post some ideas below and I will definitely take some photos for you or plan a pairing video. And then also, if you are curious and want to stay up to date with the ticker version of this, make sure you follow Serafina, subscribe to her newsletter, all of that, so you don't miss out, because this is really lovely. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.